Well, this is an interesting change in Hollywood. Mitch, want to tell us why this is significant? Because it is.
All right. Well, I don't know the specifics of this deal, but essentially, what it boils down to, I think, it's the Paramount consent decree.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, it stopped movie studios having any part in movie theaters. That's now gone.
Yep.
Because of everything, and they say it's for the benefit of everyone to keep the industry going, which, fair enough. I agree with that, because that AMC's gonna need help, despite what AMC say. They need help. They're crying for it and they're asking for it. I'm not saying in so many words, but the subtext is there. So, yeah, essentially, if Disney want, the biggest studio right now could own the biggest theater chain in the world.
So,
if they wanted to.
Yeah, right.
Which has its benefits, it has its vast amount of problems.
And here's the takeaway from talking to people about this and just kind of trying to understand the lay of the land among, between everybody, the fans, the studios, the theaters, and trying to get somewhere in the middle. I'm seeing that the fans are split, as they always are. You have your people that are like, no, cinema can only be watched in the theater with 10,000 people in that theater, and that's how it should always be. You have the people like us that are like, sure, you can keep that with most films, but give me the option to go digital for the love of God. Mm-hmm. And the theaters now have realized that they might not survive, and they're coming to the scenario where they're like, look, if I'm a Regal or someone, and Disney can buy me, then they can show movies through our studio exclusively, which will keep us in business indefinitely, while also dumping it on the digital front for those people, and it's all going to feed the same beast because we're under the same Disney umbrella. So we're honestly, and it's crazy to think about, but we're getting to that Blade Runner scenario. Like three corporations are going to own everything. It's just like, oh no, we're actually getting there. Like that's the reality.
I think AT&T owns either 98 or 99 businesses anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Why not make it a nice even 100? Stud. They already own you anyway in America. Just go to an AT&T theater. Why not?
Right. It's. I think this is sort of signifying that a major change is coming, and I think this is going to be another big factor in it. And I won't be surprised if it is something that does move forward pretty quickly. And I mean quickly over the next couple of years, not instantly, but
I say it's not going to be like right now. You're not going to hear that Disney's buying AMC in a week because, quite frankly, Disney can't afford it.
Mm-hmm. And also, you wouldn't want to buy them right now because their value's going to go down the longer this thing lasts. So you want to score for the cheapest amount.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely feel like this is going to be huge again. And
it will happen.
Oh, it will.
The studio is absolutely going to snatch a chain up. 100%.
Totally. Yep. And it probably won't be just one chain either, because if you look at some of the chains that it's like, oh, this chain in the United States is owned by these people, but they also own half the theaters in the Caribbean and 1/3 of the theaters in Asian markets. So that would effectively put them into wherever they want controlling matters of certain things. So you wouldn't have to be like, well, if I want my movie in this country, they only allow 5 American films. So now I have to give them money to play my film. You own the theater chain. You don't have to worry about that again. So it is how it's, I think, going to move forward. And I think for Disney, the big telling factor will be, again, Mulan is carrying the future of Disney on film on its back right now. That film is going to dictate where Disney is with film releases a year from now. So,
and even if Disney just the second they snatch something up, because they can, you're gonna get day and date. There's no way they don't.
Oh yeah.
If Mulan succeeds and there is a market there, they are gonna split everything between it. I wouldn't be surprised if whatever they own is just showing that one movie around the clock.
Exactly. Yep.
And I say, hey, you can come watch it here, or you can watch it at home. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but don't expect a price change at all.
Oh, not at all.
You're still going to pay to them the absolute nose and teeth for everything.
And then people are going to start to realize, being like, wait a second, family of 5 going in to see, I don't know, let me spitball here, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness in theater. Okay, so it's going to cost us $78 for just our tickets of 5 opening night. Want to go home and buy this for $30 and spend the other on ordering 7 large pizzas? Yeah? Alright, let's do it. Like, again, I think that's sort of what's going to happen here. And again, there's enough for grabs. And you could also run into a scenario, and I know this is a weird one, but where a theater chain might not get entirely sold because there's obviously independent franchise owners of everything. You could see a scenario where it's like, look, these are going to go to this company, and these are going to be split over here. So you could run into a scenario where somebody like Universal and Disney literally could split ownership depending on who owns what chain where. It's like, fine, East Coast, this is the outlet. West Coast, here's the other ones. And again, it's a weird scenario, but this has been done with other things before, and it's kind of how it goes because, again, the entertainment industry over the last 10 years has changed, and the next 10 are going to be completely different. So,
I mean, if you think you go back 10 years, the Netflix guys said, it's going to be at least 10 years before you get new releases on like streaming services. Well, guess where we are 10 years later?
Yeah.
It happened. But you're definitely going to see, say if Disney buys a Cineworld, which is the second largest chain in the world, you're going to see them snatch up other ones from different countries. Because I think Cineworld only gets you the biggest UK Regal in the States. But I think Regal's the second biggest in the States.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think you got the biggest in like mainland Europe. And I think there's some other places as well. But like different territories. You're going to be like, right, well, you're never going to own one in China because I don't think China's going to. Actually, to be fair, you probably could buy one in China, but they would have some weird restrictions on
some weird commie restriction.
Yeah. It's like, we demand this as well. It's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you'll get stuff like that. So, we're buying this, but we're also going to buy that over here because we need to. But I don't know if it applies to other countries. I assume it's all just. I suppose it must do if you just buy the state side of it. You own everything else, but it's gonna be a complicated, interesting thing to see.
It's definitely moving in a different direction, and I'm interested to see the fallout. Again, I think Mulan is going to dictate the change of pace and the change of direction. So,
and that Disney's expecting this to absolutely rake it in because again, Chapek says it's a one-off. You do not put money into marketing a Premier Access tab on Disney Plus. You don't make graphics. You don't make posters. You don't spend money on marketing. You don't make a whole new tab and system for a service you just launched for a one-off.
I mean, I want to. That's what he said the most recent investors call. Go to the investors call before this one, where he says they are 100% committed to theatrical releases, and that will not change in the foreseeable future. Again, he's got to tell you what you want to hear. Sometimes what you need to hear is not the same as what you want to. It's.
And what you've been been needing to hear is what we've been saying.
Yeah.
What we've been saying is what Chapek's been thinking. Like they've been thinking about this and talking about this for a while. And they've been developing the system for a while because suddenly it's good to go with less than a month out from this release.
Right. I mean, the R&D on this and the conceptual stage and how to accept your payment and stuff. If you talk to anybody who's a developer on, let's say, a video game or something like that, you have this idea at least 8 to 10 months out before you announce it. And then you've already had to eternally start testing it and the pipelines to deliver content because your server's got to handle it. So this has been in the testing for at least a couple of months as of right now. So, again,
This has been their end goal for these services, because why would a studio have a streaming service and not want their new movies on their day like straight away?
Mm-hmm.
Like, people have been saying like we can deny it all they want. That's the case. That's what's been happening, and it's just been. I don't know how quickly it got accelerated. It could have been 5 years, could have been 10, could have been 15, but it got one hell of a push forward.
I mean, what happened with the world kind of dictated we need to jump on it now, and it's like for these studios, for them this helps as much as it's hurting them, because again, it's sped up everything, like exponentially put it on a fast track towards a new future of consumption of digital products. Like,
I say they get triple returns.
Yeah.
Streaming services.
Yeah.
It's of course they're gonna want that. There's no way they've ever been committed to movie theaters, because movie theaters, in fairness, they drag the pair of themselves. Like, they drag each other through the coals about money. But studios have always wanted more because they're the ones spending the money. But,
I mean, it was before, I think, Avengers came out, or right after it, where Disney went back to theaters and said, hey, you guys know how you take 40% or whatever? You're only going to take like 25 to 30. And theaters were like, we're not going to show your movie. And then Avengers came out and did so big, they're like, so you're going to turn us away? And all theaters were like, all right, we give in. We'll give you.
Remember when theaters tried to say they're not going to show Star Wars? It's like, yeah. So, oh no, Disney wants this movie that's going to rake in billions for us. We don't want to show it everywhere. Why?
Yeah.
You're dumb. Oh, we don't want Universal movies. We don't want Fast and the Furious. Why? You're dumb.
Yeah.
That's billions of dollars you're just throwing away right there. Like, why?
It was nonsense to begin with when they were saying it, so that's how it played out. I think it's going to be interesting to see, because let's say, here comes September, early September, Mulan is coming out. We're not going to know numbers unless they're publicly made. So you're going to get these analysts working for like your Variety or someone, right? Or like your Hollywood Reporter. They're going to be like, okay, we plugged in the hashtags here, and this is what we think it did, sort of like they did to track Netflix stats. And they're like, oh, wow, a lot of people watch Daredevil. But it's never an official number unless the studio gives it.
No.
So it'll be interesting to see how Mulan performs and if and when Disney announces it. And I assume they will do it at the next earnings call, which...
The thing with the way Disney are doing it, and they're doing it on their own streaming service, they're going to have to announce how well it did.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yep.
There's no way. A $200 million movie, there's no way they can keep that secret.
Mm-hmm.
Trolls is something slightly different because, it's not that much of a cost. Like, yes, animated movies are expensive. It's not that much. What else came out? Birds of Prey, you only heard, what number it ranked in the charts. You never heard the official number.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But something like this, you're going to have to find out. They're going to have to release it.
Exactly. Something like Mulan is, let's say it sells 15 million copies. 15 million people out of the 60 million subs end up buying the movie. They go, oh, so we made like $400-ish million? Okay.
Hold on, that's a break even.
You want to announce that, right? Because you're like, well, we actually made pure profit because we didn't even have to do all that advertising around. We didn't have to put up giant billboards everywhere, that cost us multi-millions of dollars per day. So
it still would have cost them money, in fairness, because they've already had them made.
Yeah, that's true. They just don't have to buy the space now.
So, hey, I want a refund on that space. Give my money back.
So I think here's what's going to be telling to me. Next investors call, they hold it, they give us the numbers, and in the chance that they suddenly say, hey guys, our next film, Black Widow, is coming there, if that's announced, it's the most profitable thing Disney has done. That's it. Like, at that point, it's all changed. It's going to be like, well, this is the future now, I guess. Like,
yeah. And it'd be weird for a big studio to do that. It's very much like an indie indie movie, smaller studio thing to do. Like, oh, we're going to go day and date. We're going to drop it online.
Yep.
You know, obviously they can afford to do that because they spend peanuts in comparison. Still millions, but it's peanuts in comparison.
Oh, totally.
But a $200 million movie's nuts.
Hey, if that's what they need to do, that's what they need to do. And I mean, we're gonna support it. So hell yeah.
Well, if they drop it over here, because I think cinemas over here are starting to reopen, and they're going to be a lot of them are going to be open by the time that happens. But we'll have to wait and see. If I get screwed out, this I'm going to be mad.
Yeah.
I'm going to go outside. I'm going to take everyone's masks away. But no